My name is Dale.
And my name is Stacy. And together we farm 1,600 acres in east central Saskatchewan. Our farm is divided up sort of in quarter, like, 1/4 eco acres, a quarter pasture, a quarter hayland, and then the last little bit of it is for the grain crop.
I would say that for scale around us, we are probably small. Okay, we are small. The biggest thing you'll see on our land is that we still have all the trees and we farm around the trees. Whereas the other farmers, and we have smaller equipment too, to allow us to farm around the trees, around the water. All the bigger farmers in the area, 3,000, 5,000 acres, they will make it so that you can drive in straight lines. It's easier for them to seed, it's easier for them to spray, it's easier for them to combine. But I don't know that that's any better because the trees help our land, all the wildlife help our land and make it better.
I think that's the biggest difference between us and our neighbors is that we sort of encourage the biodiversity a little bit, and I feel like some of the people who farm around us have this antagonistic relationship to nature instead of being part of it. And I think since we farm with nature, I feel like our way of life on the farm is less stressful in the long run. Agroecology on our farm, I think for me, it means making space for other species that we share our planet with. It means not having your agriculture just be extractive all the time. It means making sure that what you are doing is not only good for you, like as the farmer, but either neutral or not harmful to the environment. And that the practices also that you're using on your farm, especially for us since we have livestock, that our livestock is looked after in a natural way. When we first started, it was just how we farmed. We just always farmed with nature in mind. And then, the word agroecology came up and we were like, oh, that kind of sounds like what we already do. So I think for the scale of agroecology, especially here where it's difficult to get into agriculture, land is expensive, equipment is expensive, places are huge. So, you need this giant piece of equipment to farm this giant piece of land.
The only thing I can add is that, like Stacey is saying, is that the startup cost and the stress to deal with for the startup is what is a biggest deterrent. Like if we want more land, we have to find some piece of land that's clean so that we can transition it into organics, something that's remotely affordable.
Yeah, so I think for agroecology to be successful, I think in general more people are needed on the land. I mean, there's so few of us out here and our farms are so big, not ours so much, but other people's, that it's just, the stress level is, for some of our neighbors, is just so high. I think agroecology could happen on the prairies, but I think you have to be really dedicated to it and you have to want to make it happen. But I mean, that's like anything. You can't just sort of do it in a halfway sort of way. But yeah, I think anything's possible, really. I don't know what agroecology would look like at a big scale. I would like to know somebody who was fairly large that was willing to try it. I think that would be really interesting.